Hey, boys and girls, this is Miss E back for our second day of Second Step. I hope that you guys had some fun doing your brain builder of common ground. Hopefully, you guys were able to find ways that you were alike or similar, that you were able to meet in your common ground space so that you guys could be giving each other a whole bunch of virtual high fives. If I had a partner, hopefully someone would have some common ground with me that I like to eat fish. I like to go on field trips. I also like climbing ropes, although it's not something that I do very often, but I like to think that I am an adventurous person and like to do some adventurous things outside. So if I were in class with you, hopefully I would have been giving some virtual high fives to my partner in ways that we were alike. I also would probably meet somewhere in the middle with a partner in some of the ways that we're different because I don't particularly like studying science. And I also don't particularly like building models, although I feel like it's interesting, but it's not really something that I like to do. So hopefully as you guys practice and you guys watched each other, you were able to learn about your differences and also learn about ways that you were alike and finding some common ground. I want you guys to review some of those commonalities and some of those differences and pausing here and going back through teacher picking those partners to review again what those commonalities and what those differences are and write them down because we are going to have to use them later this week in our skills practice. So teachers, pause here, test and review some of those things with your students, exactly what they found in their commonalities or their difference in the brain builder from yesterday. Now that you guys have written down some of your commonalities and your differences, I want you to hold on to them tight because we are going to use them later on down the week during our skills practice. And we are now moving forward to our story and discussion. We are going to learn about two students who find something that they have in common and learn to accept their differences. Here are Yasmin and Olivia. Yasmin recently joined Olivia's third grade class. Look at the photo and think about ways that Olivia and Yasmin appear different. In what ways, when you look at Yasmin and Olivia, do they look differently? I want you to pause here, teacher, and have some discussion with your students about how they look different. Hopefully you guys had some great discussion and you figured out that Yasmin and Olivia look different in their clothing and their ethnicity. The ethnicity is different for Yasmin because Yasmin comes from Iran. She wears different clothing from Olivia. English is also not her first language. Sometimes Olivia laughs when other students tease Yasmin for being different. How would you feel if you were Yasmin and you came from a different country and you looked differently and you sounded differently? How would you feel about other students not accepting your differences? Teachers, I want you to pause here and have some group discussion with your students about how it is that they would feel if they were Yasmin coming into a new classroom from a different country with a different origin and being able to be around other students, accepting or not accepting your differences. That was some very good discussion, boys and girls. I heard a lot of amazing things. If I were Yasmin, I would feel frustrated because coming from my other country, there were other people that sounded like me, that looked like me, and it would be frustrating for me to not understand why you can't accept my way of being, my way of dressing, my way of speaking. It would make me a little sad to hear a lot of the students laughing at me or teasing me because of my differences and not accepting those. It would give me some challenge, I guess, to figure out ways that I can find commonalities with some of the other students, knowing that I'm different. Being able to find someone, maybe like Olivia, to be able to connect with so that she can help me learn more about the culture that I'm in now, so that I can find more commonalities with some of the other students.